In 1541, the Spanish explorer Francisco de Orellana emerged from the dense Amazon rainforest with an unbelievable claim. He reported seeing massive, densely packed cities stretching for miles along the riverbanks. This vintage 18th century map of the Amazon shows the vast, uncharted territories those early explorers claimed were heavily populated. For 400 years, Western science branded Orellana a liar, dismissing his accounts as colonial myths. This certainty had tragic consequences. British explorer Percy Fawcett famously vanished into the jungle in 1925, obsessively chasing the discarded myth of what he called the lost city of Z. The scientific consensus settled on a single conclusion: the Amazon was simply too hostile and wild to support complex civilization. This conclusion was rooted in biology. The jungle is a notoriously difficult place to survive, characterized by highly acidic, nutrient-poor clay soils. While the canopy is incredibly lush, the heavy rainfall constantly leaches nutrients from the dirt. Because of this, traditional large-scale agriculture was considered impossible. And unlike the Maya or the Inca, there were no massive stone ruins to study. Anything built from wood or earth in the Amazon quickly rots away or is swallowed by rapid plant growth. When European diseases decimated indigenous populations, the jungle quickly reclaimed the physical evidence. The narrative of the Amazon as a pristine, untouched wilderness was permanently locked in. The technology that finally pierced the canopy is called LiDAR. LiDAR stands for Light Detection and Ranging, a remote sensing method that uses pulsed lasers to measure distances to the Earth. By firing millions of laser pulses from an aircraft, researchers can map the exact ground topography, digitally deforesting the vegetation to see what lies beneath. When researchers applied this technology to the Bolivian Amazon to study the ancient Casarabe culture, they were shocked. Distinct, unnatural geometric patterns emerged from the noise. The lasers revealed 22-meter-tall conical pyramids and complex defensive moats. These massive structures were completely invisible to researchers who had been walking on the ground just feet away. LiDAR opened the Amazon as an archaeological goldmine, confirming that early Spanish reports of dense populations were accurate. This map shows the most staggering recent discovery, Ecuador's Upano Valley. Here, LiDAR revealed 300 square kilometers of civilization. Each red dot represents an ancient earthen platform. We are looking at over 6,000 platforms, forming at least 15 heavily populated settlements. This 3D topographic render highlights their highly sophisticated urban planning. Wide, perfectly straight dug roads connect these settlements at exact right angles, completely ignoring the natural topography of the land. This network housed populations in the tens or even hundreds of thousands. They thrived continuously for over a millennium, starting roughly 2,500 years ago. This complex agrarian network represents a form of low-density urbanism, rivaling the scale of ancient Rome or the Maya. This scale presents a logical paradox. How did hundreds of thousands of people feed themselves in a rainforest with famously infertile, acidic soil? The solution to this problem lies in an ancient indigenous engineering technique known as terra preta, or Amazonian dark earth. Over generations, people composted food waste, animal bones, and broken pottery, and charcoal from low-temperature fires. This recipe created a self-renewing supersoil. It bound minerals and resisted the heavy rain's leaching effect, transforming barren clay into hyper-fertile ground. The scale of this engineering is staggering. This man-made dark earth covers an area of the Amazon basin nearly twice the size of Ireland. Far from a wild, untouched jungle, the Amazon is actually a domesticated, ancient orchard, a landscape that was entirely shaped by human hands. When this data went public, modern media rushed to publish headlines screaming about lost cities being suddenly discovered in the deep jungle by Western science. But this narrative has a major flaw. These earthworks were already known to local indigenous communities, and South American archaeologists had surveyed many of them decades ago. In this context, lost simply means undocumented by Western technology. That framing erases centuries of unbroken indigenous heritage and memory. With millions of square miles of the Amazon still unmapped, it leaves us wondering what else is hiding under the canopy, waiting for our technology to catch up to ancient reality. The lasers stripped away the trees, But they also stripped away our historical arrogance, forcing us to finally recognize one of the greatest engineered civilizations in human history.